This tutorial is about using static table views. The emphasis is on static. So I'm going to start by creating a new project, master detail application, next. Static table views, devices universal, storyboard, core data, arc checked. Create. Now that'll give me a standard storyboard application. I'm going to run it to see how it looks and how am I going to modify this. So it kind of looks like this. I gotta click on plus and here goes the detail view. That's not what I want really. So I am going to go to the, first of all, modify this to iPhone storyboard. Click on this minus sign. I really want to get rid of this one. So when I click over here, I'll have a list, and then click over there, I'm gonna see that. Now before I create a view controller, I know that I'm gonna need a class for it, so I'm gonna add that class first of all. Actually, after I deleted it, I'm also going to delete this class. Move to trash. Now add a new file. Detail table view. Subclass of UI table view controller. Okay, so that kinda messed the name up, so I'm just gonna call it detail table, and view controller showed up all by itself. Next, create. So now that I have it, I'm gonna come over here, drag a view controller right there, and as I do that, right up there, I have the opportunity to just type that up. Detail table view controller. Very good. So now if I click here and assistant editor, it opens the right one up. It's hooked up. Cool. So that's why I was trying to modify my work method, the sequence of things that I do. First the class, then drag it up there, change it. Now next I'm gonna be needing a customers class, so I'm gonna add that up, add it here. Objective-C class. Customers inherits from NS object. I'm going to click on the .m file, show the assistant editor, open them side by side. Now something went wrong again. UI table view controller, and you saw that I selected NS object, so I'm going to have to delete this. It may not have been the right one, so I'm going to have to close it. Just try it again. Again, open the M file, assistant editor, close it, try it one more time. You see there's some kind of bug in here. I have no idea why it opened up the wrong one. I had to chase my tail for a little bit. Open this up. I'm gonna close both of these. Okay, anyway, I hopefully should be right. So I'm gonna define three properties and an interface for a method and then implement them here. Okay, so I was having some difficulty. I'm not sure if you guys feel that or not. The version of Xcode that I'm using is 4.6. So I added the first customers class, and this NS object, you see, it isn't colored, and NS string doesn't show up. So I had to add a class, second class customer, and this time everything is just fine. So I'm not sure what's going on, but It was really confusing. So here is the three properties, interface, and synthesize those three variables, and the implementation of the init with customer ID, name, and balance methods. Okay, let's fix a few errors there. I deleted the detail view controller and added a detail table view. Controller. Let me just get rid of it, and detail table view controller, add that in there. Get rid of this first one that showed up because of some error, and make sure everything works so far. Okay, so there are some, the property detail item cannot be found, and that is in the master view controller. So we'll remove those, and I have to come back, of course, but so far so good. I click on it, there's nowhere to go. Instead of course I want to show my stuff here. So next is to create instances of the customer class and make them show up here. Okay, so I'm gonna go back into my master view controller, and these are the things that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna create a dictionary object, customers, to hold a list of customers. This is the .h file, master view controller .h, master view controller .m. So on the .m size, I'm going to synthesize the customers. I'm going to import customer.h, and then I'm going to set about, at this point, dismiss.h, so I can see that carefully. In the view did load, I am going to create the NS dictionary object, dict, and I am going to initialize it with 3 customers, and I'm going to utilize the init with cust ID, name, balance initializer to initialize them. Customer ID 1, name 1, balance is 100, the key is 1. Same thing here, 2, name 2, 200, keys 2, and 3 of them. And nil, you know what's going on, right? When you create a dictionary or an array, the last object must be nil, comma nil. That's like a standard thing in Objective-C. Now that said, that customer's dictionary that I created and synthesized up there, I'm going to set that to this dictionary object. Next object that I care about is number of sections in table view. It's going to be just 1. Number of rows in section. I'm going to get that by calling this method on self, the customers that I synthesized, all keys count. Of course, it's going to get it from here. It's going to go back to customers, which was dict, and actually I had 1, 2, 3. So that's what's going on over here in number of rows in section. Then the next one is to actually populate each cell. So for 3 times it'll fire cell for row at index. In the cell for row at index, of course I am going to create an instance of UI table view cell. Then I'm going to go about getting all the keys in my customers dictionary like this. Then I'm going to get 1 key. Out of that, which one? The current, you see, index path is one of the variables. Index path, the row will give me the row that I'm at, and using that, I'm gonna pull one out of the my dictionary. Out of all the keys, I'm gonna find out the key for this particular index, like that. Then I'm gonna create an instance of the customer, and I'm gonna object for key, self customers object for key. So this key is getting from being created here from the keys using the index path. See how they all chain back up. Now I'm gonna create the text I'm gonna display in there. That comes from cust ID. Finally, I'm gonna take the cell that I had up there, set its text label to the cell text. So now if I run this application, I should see 1, 2, 3. Those are the, I could actually make it name 1, name 2, name 1, name 2, name 3. So why don't we try that? Instead of cust ID, that would be the name, right? I'm gonna make that change and see what happens to the table. Name 1, name 2, name 3. Now it's pulling those and making that. Now next step is when I click on it, I'm gonna go to the other detail view, which is also going to be a static table view. And the static table view will have the information detail about this customer, the name, ID, name, and the balance. So now let's work on that step. Or let me. I'm gonna go back to my storyboard, and from here I'm gonna control, drag, and say push. What I'm expecting is when I click here, I go to the other table. I'm gonna run it and see if it will actually. I get an error. Reason is that loaded but did not get a UI table view. So now I gotta go further and start fixing those things. Okay, so this, maybe I put the wrong one up here. I'm gonna have to delete this and create a table view controller up there. Yeah, you see I put the wrong one there. Not the view controller, but a table view controller. And now, control click push and see if that'll take care of it. And at least I'll see some page or different error. Yeah, you see, now I'm coming over here. I'm going back there. Now I've got to work with this to make it look like the way I want it. I'm going to select the table view, and I'm going to select the attributes inspector. Content type, I'm going to make it static cells. Number of section, I'm going to go from 1 to 2. I'm going to select the section number 1. Instead of 3 rows, I'm going to say 1 row. Header is going to be ID, customer ID. I'm going to click on the next one. Instead of 1, I'll have 2. Name and balance. And the next header would be detail. See it come over here. Another thing I want to do here is make it grouped. Table view, style, grouped. So now we'll have 2 groups. Next, I'm going to dismiss utility area. I'm going to select the table view, associated editor. Okay, now I'm gotta drag back in there, and I gotta create outlets for it. So control, click. No, sorry, it's not the table view. The table view controller. Detail table view controller. Now it's hooked up. Now I can dismiss utility inspector. Control drag. Very good. That will be selected cust ID. I'm going to show that here. Control drag selected name. Control drag right there. Selected balance. Now they are connected. Now I want another property actually here, which will be customers. So now what I'm going to do is, next one is to declare the person class in here. I'm going to add class. Add class customer. Next I'm going to synthesize them. Selected customer ID. Selected name. Selected balance. Customer. And also import customer. Next, in the view did load, I'm gonna set the selected customer ID cell, its text label, to customer's ID. Same thing, the selected name cells text to customer's name, and then also the balance to balance. Now I'm going to go back to the master view controller and find the prepare for segue and try to set there should be a set customer. Set customer cust like that. Hopefully that'll give me this will cart over the selected customer. Okay, so what was going on over here is that since I'm using a static table view, I need to delete these methods. For some reason, it wasn't done automatically. So I gotta delete them, 3. Again, they are number of rows, number of sections in table, number of rows in section, and cell for row at index path. Once I do that and I run this, works perfectly. 200. This one should be 150. It perfectly works perfectly. So there was some kind of a caveat here.